Listen carefully. You have noticed something strange happening in your life. You walk into a room and the energy shifts. People become uncomfortable. They cannot explain it, and neither can you, but you feel it. You sense it in their eyes, in their words, in the way they suddenly change the subject when you speak your truth. You have been told you are too much. Too intense. Too serious. Too ambitious. Too different. And you have spent years wondering what is wrong with you. Here is what no one has told you: nothing is wrong with you. You are not broken. You are not defective. You are not cursed. You are simply operating on a frequency that most people have never reached and will never reach because they refuse to pay the price you have paid. Your vibration is too high for most to handle. Now, before you dismiss this as flattery or empty motivation, understand this: this is not a compliment. This is a warning. This is a diagnosis. This is an explanation for the isolation you feel, the misunderstandings you endure, and the loneliness that accompanies your journey toward greatness. Most people live their entire lives in reaction. They react to their circumstances. They react to other people's opinions. They react to their fears. They react to their past. They are like leaves blown by the wind, never choosing their direction, always at the mercy of external forces. You are not most people. You have made a different choice. Perhaps you did not even realize you were making it. Perhaps it happened gradually, through years of pain, disappointment, and the relentless pursuit of something greater than the mediocrity that surrounds you. But you made the choice nonetheless. You chose to think for yourself. You chose to question everything. You chose to raise your standards. You chose to become more than what your environment demanded of you. And now you are paying the price. The price is misunderstanding. The price is judgment. The price is watching people walk away from you, not because you have wronged them, but because your presence reminds them of everything they are not willing to become. This video is not for everyone. Most people will watch the first minute and leave. They will feel uncomfortable. They will feel attacked. They will protect their comfortable illusions rather than face the truth that could set them free. But you are still here. That tells me something about you. That tells me you are ready to understand what is really happening. You are ready to stop apologizing for who you are becoming. You are ready to embrace the power and the responsibility that comes with operating on a higher frequency than those around you. Before we go further, I need you to do something. Subscribe to this channel right now. Not tomorrow. Not after you finish the video. Now. Because if you are serious about your transformation, you need to surround yourself with ideas and principles that support your evolution. And leave a comment telling me where you are watching from. I want to know where in the world people like you exist. I want to know that you are out there, doing the work, refusing to settle. Do it now. Good. Now we continue. There is a law that governs all human interaction. It is not written in books. It is not taught in schools. Most people live their entire lives without ever becoming conscious of it. But it operates with mathematical precision, every moment of every day, whether you acknowledge it or not. Here is the law: people can only meet you as deeply as they have met themselves. Read that again. Let it sink in. People can only meet you as deeply as they have met themselves. This is not philosophy. This is not poetry. This is a fundamental truth about human consciousness and human relationships. When you raise your vibration, when you commit to growth, self-awareness, discipline, and truth, you begin to see through the illusions that most people accept as reality. You see through the lies people tell themselves. You see through the excuses. You see through the victim stories. You see through the comfortable narratives that keep people small. And when you see through these things in yourself, you automatically see through them in others. This makes people uncomfortable. Most people do not want to be seen clearly. They want to be seen through the filter of their carefully constructed identity. They want you to accept their excuses. They want you to validate their limitations. They want you to agree that life is hard, that change is impossible, that they are doing the best they can. But you cannot do this anymore. Not because you are arrogant. Not because you are judgmental. But because you have tasted a different reality. You have experienced what happens when you stop lying to yourself. You have felt the power that comes from taking full responsibility for your life. You have discovered that the limitations you once believed were real were actually just beliefs, and beliefs can be changed. And now, when someone sits across from you and recites the same tired excuses you once used, something inside you recoils. You cannot pretend anymore. You cannot nod sympathetically and agree that they are victims of circumstance. You know better. And they sense that you know better. This is why your vibration is too high for most to handle. Understand this, your vibration is not determined by what you say. It is not determined by what you wear or how much money you make or what you have achieved. Your vibration is determined by the quality of your consciousness. It is determined by how much truth you can hold. It is determined by how willing you are to see reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. And most people operate at a very low level of consciousness. They operate in blame. They operate in victimhood. They operate in distraction. They operate in comfort-seeking. They operate in the desperate need for validation from others. They have never taken the time to go inward, to question their programming, to examine their beliefs, to confront their fears. You have done this work. Maybe you did not call it that. Maybe you simply reached a point where the pain of staying the same became greater than the pain of change. Maybe you hit rock bottom. Maybe you lost everything. Maybe you were betrayed, abandoned, humiliated. Maybe you simply woke up one day and realized you could not live another year the way you had been living. Whatever the catalyst, you began the journey inward. You started asking questions. Who am I? What do I really want? What have I been pretending not to know? Why do I keep repeating the same patterns? What am I afraid of? What would I do if I were not afraid? These questions are dangerous. They shatter comfortable illusions. They expose hidden truths. They demand change. Most people will do anything to avoid asking these questions. They will stay busy. They will stay distracted. They will stay in toxic relationships. They will stay in jobs they hate. They will stay in cities that drain them. They will stay in versions of themselves that stopped serving them years ago. But you ask the questions. And once you ask the questions, you cannot unask them. Once you see the truth, you cannot unsee it. Once you taste freedom, you cannot go back to prison, even if the prison is familiar and the freedom is terrifying. This is the beginning of the shift in vibration. You begin to change from the inside out. Your thoughts change. Your words change. Your energy changes. Your standards change. Your tolerance for nonsense changes. Your ability to pretend changes. And the people around you notice. They cannot articulate what they notice. They do not have the vocabulary or the awareness. But they feel it. They feel that you are no longer playing the game. They feel that you are no longer seeking their approval. They feel that you are no longer willing to shrink yourself to make them comfortable. And this terrifies them. Because your growth is a mirror. Your evolution is a silent judgment on their stagnation. Your courage highlights their cowardice. Your clarity exposes their confusion. Your commitment reveals their complacency. You do not even have to say a word. Your mere presence is a disruption. Now, here is what you must understand: this is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. It is not your fault that you have outgrown certain people. It is not your fault that you can no longer tolerate certain conversations. It is not your fault that you see through the illusions that others still cling to. But it is your responsibility to navigate this reality with wisdom. Many people, when they first experience this shift, make one of two mistakes. They either try to pull everyone along with them, or they become arrogant and dismissive. Both approaches are rooted in misunderstanding. You cannot pull anyone along. Growth is an individual choice. Consciousness cannot be forced. You can share what you have learned, you can offer your hand, you can model a different way of being, but you cannot make someone ready who is not ready. You cannot make someone willing who is not willing. And arrogance is simply another form of insecurity. It is the ego's attempt to protect itself from the pain of rejection by rejecting others first. It is a defense mechanism, not a sign of true evolution. True high vibration is not arrogant. It is humble. It recognizes that everyone is on their own journey. It understands that the person who frustrates you today is simply where you were 5 years ago. It holds space for different levels of consciousness without judgment, but also without compromise. This is the balance you must learn. You must learn to honor your own growth without making others wrong for not growing at the same pace. You must learn to set boundaries without building walls. You must learn to speak your truth without needing others to validate it. You must learn to walk your path even when you walk it alone. Because here is another truth: the higher you rise, the fewer people you will find at your level. This is not elitism. This is mathematics. The base of the mountain is crowded. The peak is not. Most people are comfortable at the base. They have company there. They have familiarity. They have consensus reality. Everyone agrees on what is possible, what is acceptable, what is realistic. But you are climbing. And the higher you climb, the thinner the air becomes, and the fewer companions you find. This is the price of evolution. This is the cost of consciousness. This is what it means to have a vibration that is too high for most to handle. You will lose friends. You will confuse family members. You will be misunderstood by colleagues. You will be labeled. You will be called selfish, cold, different, strange, too much, not enough. Let them talk. Their words are not about you. Their words are about their own limitations. Their words are about their own fears. Their words are about their own refusal to grow. Your job is not to convince them. Your job is not to prove yourself. Your job is not to shrink back down to make them comfortable. Your job is to keep climbing. Your job is to keep raising your vibration. Your job is to keep expanding your consciousness. Your job is to keep becoming more of who you truly are, not who others need you to be. And as you do this, something miraculous will happen. You will begin to attract new people. People who are also climbing. People who are also committed to growth. People who are also willing to tell themselves the truth. People who do not need you to be smaller. People who celebrate your expansion because they are expanding too. These are your true people. These are your tribe. These are the relationships that will sustain you on the journey. But you will never find them if you keep trying to force connection with people who are not vibrating at your frequency. Now we must talk about the mistakes you are making. Because even though you have raised your vibration, even though you are doing the work, you are still sabotaging yourself in ways you do not fully recognize. Let me be direct with you. You are still seeking validation from people who cannot give it to you. You are still explaining yourself to people who do not have the capacity to understand you. You are still trying to maintain relationships that died months or years ago, simply because you are afraid of being alone. This must stop. The first mistake is the addiction to being understood. You want people to get you. You want them to see your vision. You want them to recognize the depth of your transformation. You want them to acknowledge how hard you have worked, how much you have changed, how far you have come. And when they do not, you feel frustrated. You feel unseen. You feel invalidated. But here is the truth: you do not need to be understood. You need to understand yourself. When you truly understand yourself, when you are crystal clear on who you are, what you stand for, where you are going, and why, other people's misunderstanding becomes irrelevant. Their confusion does not shake you. Their judgment does not wound you. Their lack of recognition does not diminish you. Because you are not looking to them for confirmation. You are not building your identity on their approval. You are grounded in your own truth, and that ground is solid. But most of you are not there yet. Most of you are still performing. Still proving. Still seeking external validation for an internal transformation. And this keeps your vibration artificially low. Because every time you seek validation from someone who cannot give it, you give away your power. Every time you explain yourself to someone who is not listening, you dilute your energy. Every time you compromise your truth to maintain a relationship, you betray yourself. And self-betrayal is the fastest way to lower your vibration. The second mistake is the fear of isolation. You know you have outgrown certain people. You know certain relationships are draining you. You know certain environments are toxic. But you stay. You tolerate. You endure. Why? Because you are afraid of being alone. You have convinced yourself that some connection is better than no connection. That a mediocre relationship is better than solitude. That being misunderstood is better than being unknown. This is a lie. Isolation is not the same as loneliness. Isolation is a necessary phase of transformation. It is the cocoon stage. It is the period where you shed the old identity and prepare for the new one. If you avoid isolation, you prevent transformation. You cannot become a butterfly if you refuse to enter the cocoon. You cannot rise to a new level of consciousness if you keep clinging to the people and environments that reflect your old level. Solitude is not a punishment. Solitude is a gift. It is the space where you hear your own voice. It is the silence where you meet yourself. It is the laboratory where you experiment with new ways of being without the interference of others' expectations. Most people are terrified of solitude because they do not like who they meet there. They have avoided themselves for so long that being alone feels unbearable. But you must learn to sit with yourself. You must learn to enjoy your own company. You must learn to be whole and complete in your own presence, independent of external validation or connection. This is not selfishness. This is self-mastery. And until you master yourself in solitude, you will never have healthy relationships. You will always be using people to fill a void that only you can fill. You will always be seeking from them what you must give to yourself. The third mistake is the assumption that high vibration means peace and ease. You thought that once you did the work, life would become easier. You thought that once you raised your consciousness, everything would flow. You thought that high vibration meant perpetual joy and harmony. But you were wrong. High vibration does not mean ease. High vibration means capacity. It means you can hold more. You can handle more. You can process more. You can see more. You can feel more. And this is often painful. You feel other people's pain more acutely because your empathy has deepened. You see the dysfunction in systems and structures because your awareness has expanded. You recognize the lies and manipulation in environments where others see nothing wrong. This is not a burden. This is your gift. But it does not always feel like a gift. It feels heavy. It feels exhausting. It feels like you carry a weight that others do not carry. And you do. This is the responsibility of consciousness. This is the cost of vision. This is what it means to be awake in a world where most people are asleep. But you cannot use this as an excuse to numb yourself. You cannot use this as a justification to lower your vibration back down to where it is more comfortable. Because the truth is, you cannot go back. You can only go forward. And forward means learning to carry the weight with grace. Forward means developing the strength to hold the frequency. Forward means accepting that yes, your vibration is too high for most to handle, and that is exactly how it should be. The fourth mistake is the attempt to save others. You see people suffering. You see them trapped in patterns you once lived. You see them making choices you know will lead to pain. And you want to help. You want to show them the way. You want to save them from the lessons you learned the hard way. This is noble. But it is also naive. You cannot save anyone. You cannot force growth. You cannot prevent someone from learning their own lessons. Every person has their own path. Every person has their own timing. Every person has their own curriculum in this school called life. Your job is not to rescue them. Your job is not to convince them. Your job is not to drag them up the mountain. Your job is to climb. And as you climb, some will see you and be inspired. Some will ask questions. Some will begin their own journey. But most will not. Most will watch you climb and find reasons why they cannot. Most will watch your transformation and feel threatened rather than inspired. Most will watch you break free and tighten their own chains. This is not your concern. You are not responsible for their choices. You are not responsible for their growth. You are not responsible for their comfort. You are responsible for your own evolution. Period. And the moment you accept this, the moment you stop trying to bring everyone with you, the moment you give yourself permission to climb alone if necessary, that is the moment your vibration will rise to a level you have never experienced before. The fifth mistake is the belief that you have arrived. You have done so much work. You have grown so much. You have transformed in ways that most people never will. And somewhere along the way, you began to believe you have arrived. You began to believe you are done. You began to believe you have reached the top. This is a dangerous illusion. There is no arrival. There is no final destination. There is no point where growth stops and maintenance begins. The moment you think you have arrived is the moment your vibration begins to drop. The moment you become complacent is the moment you begin to stagnate. The moment you stop challenging yourself is the moment you start dying, even while you are still breathing. High vibration is not a state. It is a practice. It is something you must commit to every single day. It is a choice you make in every moment. You must keep learning. You must keep questioning. You must keep expanding. You must keep challenging your own beliefs and assumptions. You must keep pushing your own edges. Because the universe does not reward arrival. The universe rewards growth. And the moment you stop growing, the moment you become satisfied with where you are, the universe will send you experiences specifically designed to shake you out of your complacency. These experiences will feel like setbacks. They will feel like failures. They will feel like punishment. But they are not. They are invitations. Invitations to the next level. Invitations to deeper truth. Invitations to higher consciousness. And if you are wise, you will accept the invitation. You will say yes to the discomfort. You will say yes to the uncertainty. You will say yes to the growth that is trying to happen through you. It is time for a fundamental shift in how you understand yourself and your place in the world. Everything you have experienced, every rejection, every misunderstanding, every moment of isolation, every friendship that ended, every relationship that could not survive your growth, all of it has been preparing you for what comes next. What comes next is not easier. What comes next is not more comfortable. What comes next is not a reward for the work you have done. What comes next is greater responsibility. Because high vibration is not about feeling good. High vibration is about being useful. It is about becoming a vessel for truth, clarity, and transformation in a world that desperately needs these things. You have been chosen for this. Not by some external deity or cosmic lottery. You have been chosen by your own willingness. You have been chosen by your own commitment. You have been chosen by your own refusal to accept the limitations that others accept. And now you must step fully into the role that your growth has prepared you for. The new mindset begins with this understanding: you are not a victim of your high vibration. You are a steward of it. You do not get to complain about how hard it is to be awake. You do not get to resent the people who do not understand you. You do not get to use your growth as an excuse for arrogance, isolation, or superiority. You get to serve. You get to lead. You get to model. You get to demonstrate what is possible when a human being commits to truth and growth above comfort and validation. This is not a burden. This is a privilege. But it is a privilege that comes with requirements. The first requirement is absolute self-responsibility. You must take full ownership of your life. Not partial ownership. Not ownership with exceptions. Full ownership. This means you stop blaming anyone for anything. You stop making excuses. You stop waiting for circumstances to change. You stop hoping that someone will rescue you or validate you or understand you. You accept that you are the creator of your experience. You accept that your reality is a perfect reflection of your consciousness. You accept that if you want your external world to change, you must first change your internal world. This is hard. This is uncomfortable. This requires a level of honesty that most people will never achieve. But this is what high vibration demands. You cannot maintain a high vibration while simultaneously playing the victim. You cannot hold a high frequency while blaming others for your circumstances. You cannot operate at an elevated consciousness while waiting for the world to give you permission to be great. The second requirement is disciplined thought. Your mind is either your greatest asset or your greatest liability. There is no middle ground. If you allow your mind to run wild, if you indulge in worry, doubt, resentment, comparison, and fear, your vibration will drop, regardless of how much work you have done. High vibration requires vigilance. It requires moment-to-moment awareness of what you are thinking and feeling. It requires the discipline to redirect your thoughts when they move toward negativity, limitation, or victimhood. This is not toxic positivity. This is not pretending that problems do not exist. This is refusing to give your precious mental energy to thoughts that do not serve your growth. You must become the guardian of your mind. You must decide what you allow in and what you keep out. You must curate your thoughts the way a museum curator selects art, with intention, discernment, and purpose. The third requirement is clarity of purpose. Most people have no idea what they are here to do. They drift through life, responding to circumstances, following the path of least resistance, seeking comfort and avoiding pain. This will never work for you. Your high vibration is connected to a specific purpose. There is something you are meant to do. There is a contribution you are meant to make. There is a way you are meant to serve. And until you get clear on what that is, your life will feel off. No matter how much you grow, no matter how much you achieve, there will be a nagging sense that something is missing. That something is purpose. Purpose is not something you find. Purpose is something you claim. It is something you declare. It is something you commit to, even before you know exactly how it will unfold. You must ask yourself, what am I here to do? What problem am I here to solve? What transformation am I here to catalyze? What legacy am I here to leave? And you must ask these questions not once, but repeatedly. Because purpose is not static. It evolves as you evolve. It deepens as you deepen. It expands as you expand. But there is a core thread. There is something consistent. There is something that has been with you your entire life, showing up in different forms, waiting for you to finally pay attention. Pay attention now. The fourth requirement is aligned action. High vibration without action is just spiritual bypassing. It is just another form of avoidance. It is just another way of pretending to grow without actually changing anything. You must act. You must move. You must do something different than what you did yesterday. But not just any action. Aligned action. Action that is consistent with your purpose. Action that is congruent with your values. Action that moves you toward the vision you hold for your life. Most people stay busy but never move forward. They confuse activity with progress. They confuse motion with direction. You must be different. You must learn to distinguish between the actions that matter and the actions that are simply distractions. You must learn to focus your energy on the few things that will create the most impact, rather than scattering your energy across 1,000 things that do not matter. This requires ruthless prioritization. This requires saying no to good opportunities so you can say yes to great ones. This requires disappointing people. This requires setting boundaries. This requires protecting your time and energy like the precious resources they are. The fifth requirement is emotional mastery. High vibration is not the absence of difficult emotions. High vibration is the ability to feel everything fully without being controlled by it. You will still feel fear. But you will act anyway. You will still feel doubt. But you will move forward anyway. You will still feel sadness, anger, frustration, loneliness. But you will not let these emotions determine your choices. Emotional mastery is not suppression. It is integration. It is the ability to acknowledge what you feel, honor it, process it, and then choose your response rather than reacting unconsciously. Most people are controlled by their emotions. They feel anxious, so they avoid. They feel angry, so they lash out. They feel sad, so they shut down. You must be different. You must develop the capacity to hold your emotions without being hijacked by them. You must learn to create space between stimulus and response. You must become the observer of your emotional landscape rather than the puppet dancing to its whims. The sixth requirement is continuous growth. You already know this, but you need to be reminded, the moment you stop growing is the moment you start dying. High vibration is not a destination you reach and then coast. High vibration is a commitment to perpetual expansion. This means you are always learning. Always reading. Always questioning. Always challenging yourself. Always seeking new perspectives. Always willing to be wrong. Always willing to update your beliefs when you encounter new information. This is uncomfortable. The ego wants to be right. The ego wants to settle. The ego wants to build an identity and protect it. But you are not your ego. You are the consciousness that is aware of the ego. And that consciousness knows that growth is more important than comfort, truth is more important than being right, and evolution is the entire point of existence. Now we move from principle to practice. From understanding to implementation. From theory to action. Everything I have shared with you is useless unless you apply it. Everything you have learned is worthless unless it changes how you think, speak, and behave every single day. Here are the daily habits that will strengthen your vibration, protect your energy, and ensure that you continue to rise regardless of the chaos around you. First, morning mind discipline. The first hour of your day determines the quality of the entire day. Most people reach for their phone the moment they wake up. They immediately plug into other people's agendas, other people's energy, other people's problems. This is a disaster. The first hour of your day must be sacred. It must be non-negotiable. It must be protected with fierce commitment. Here is what you do. You wake up. Before you check your phone, before you speak to anyone, before you engage with the external world, you sit in silence. 5 minutes minimum. 30 minutes if possible. In this silence, you do 3 things. 1. You breathe. Deep, intentional breaths. You bring yourself fully into your body. You ground yourself in the present moment. 2. You set your intention for the day. You ask yourself, who do I choose to be today? How do I choose to show up today? What energy do I choose to embody today? You do not ask what you need to do. You ask who you need to be. Because everything you do flows from who you are being. 3. You visualize. You see yourself moving through the day with clarity, purpose, confidence, and grace. You see yourself handling challenges with calm. You see yourself speaking your truth with love. You see yourself aligned with your highest self. This is not fantasy. This is programming. You are programming your subconscious mind with the version of yourself you are becoming. After this, you read. Not the news. Not social media. Not entertainment. You read something that elevates your consciousness. Something that challenges your thinking. Something that reminds you of who you are capable of being. 15 minutes. Every single day. Then you move. Exercise. Walk. Stretch. Something that gets energy flowing through your body. Your body is not separate from your mind. Your body is the vehicle for your consciousness. If your body is stagnant, your energy is stagnant. This morning routine is not optional. This is the foundation. This is what protects your vibration from the chaos of the day. Second, conscious consumption. You must become ruthlessly intentional about what you consume. Not just food, but information, entertainment, conversation, and energy. Everything you consume either raises your vibration or lowers it. There is no neutral. The news? Almost always lowers your vibration. It is designed to trigger fear, outrage, and anxiety. If you must stay informed, limit your consumption to 5 minutes once per day. No more. Social media? Mostly poison. It is designed to hijack your attention and manipulate your emotions. It is a comparison trap and a time vampire. If you must use it, set strict boundaries. 15 minutes maximum. And cure it ruthlessly. Unfollow anyone who makes you feel less than, distracted, or drained. Conversations? If a conversation leaves you feeling heavy, confused, or drained, it was not a conversation worth having. You must learn to recognize energy vampires, people who dump their problems on you with no intention of solving them, people who constantly complain, people who pull you into drama. You are not obligated to entertain these conversations. You are not obligated to be available to everyone. You must protect your energy like the precious resource it is. Entertainment? Ask yourself, is this raising my consciousness or numbing it? There is a difference between rest and escape. Rest restores you. Escape depletes you. Food? Your body is a temple. What you put into it affects your energy, your mood, your clarity. You do not need to be perfect, but you must be intentional. Eat food that nourishes you. Drink water. Limit substances that dull your consciousness. Third, energy audits. Once per week, you must audit your energy. Sit down with a journal and ask yourself these questions. What activities this week gave me energy? What activities drained me? What conversations lifted me up? What conversations brought me down? What environments made me feel alive? What environments made me feel heavy? Who in my life supports my growth? Who in my life resists my growth? Answer honestly. Write it down. Then make adjustments. Do more of what gives you energy. Do less of what drains you. It sounds simple, but most people never do this. They just keep repeating the same patterns, wondering why they feel exhausted. You must be strategic with your energy. You must treat it like a budget. You only have so much. Spend it wisely. Fourth, truth speaking. High vibration requires that you speak your truth, even when it is uncomfortable. Most people lie constantly. Not necessarily big lies. Small lies. Polite lies. Lies of omission. Lies to avoid conflict. Lies to maintain the illusion of harmony. Every time you lie, even a small lie, you lower your vibration. Because you betray yourself. You teach yourself that external approval is more important than internal integrity. This must stop. You must practice radical honesty. This does not mean you are brutal or unkind. It means you speak what is true for you, with love and respect, even when it is difficult. If someone asks how you are and you are not fine, do not say you are fine. If someone invites you to something you do not want to attend, do not make up an excuse. Just say no. If you disagree with someone, speak up. If you are hurt by someone's behavior, address it. If you need something, ask for it. This is terrifying at first. You will worry about how people will react. You will worry about losing relationships. You will worry about being judged. But here is what will actually happen: the wrong people will leave, and the right people will respect you more. Your relationships will become deeper and more authentic. And most importantly, you will respect yourself. Truth speaking is not optional for high vibration. It is essential. Fifth, solitude practice. You must spend time alone. Regularly. Intentionally. Not just alone in the sense that no one else is in the room. Alone in the sense that you are disconnected from all external input. No phone. No music. No distractions. Once per week minimum, you take yourself on a solitude date. You go somewhere quiet. You bring nothing but a journal or just yourself. And you sit. You think. You feel. You process. You ask yourself the hard questions. Am I living in alignment with my values? Am I moving toward my purpose or away from it? What am I avoiding? What am I pretending not to know? What needs to change? You listen for the answers. Not the answers you want to hear. The answers that are true. This practice is not comfortable. Your mind will resist it. Your mind will try to pull you into distraction. Your mind will tell you that you do not have time for this. But this is exactly why you must do it. Because in the silence, you access wisdom that is drowned out by the noise of daily life. In the solitude, you reconnect with your true self. In the stillness, you remember who you are beneath all the conditioning and expectations. Sixth, boundary reinforcement. Boundaries are not walls. Boundaries are standards. They are clear statements about what you will accept and what you will not accept. High vibration requires strong boundaries. You must decide what you will tolerate in your relationships. You must decide what behavior is acceptable and what is not. You must decide what you are available for and what you are not available for. And then you must communicate these boundaries clearly. And you must enforce them consistently. This will upset people. People who are used to having unlimited access to you will be confused when you set limits. People who are used to you tolerating their dysfunction will be offended when you no longer do. Let them be upset. Let them be confused. Let them be offended. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. Your integrity is your responsibility. You teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. If you tolerate disrespect, you will receive more disrespect. If you tolerate energy vampires, they will continue to drain you. If you tolerate mediocrity, your life will be mediocre. Set the boundary. Hold the boundary. Do not apologize for the boundary. Seventh, service and contribution. High vibration is not about self-absorption. High vibration is about being so full that you overflow into the lives of others. You must find ways to serve. To contribute. To give. This does not mean you martyr yourself. This does not mean you sacrifice your needs for others. This does not mean you allow people to take advantage of you. This means you find ways to use your gifts, your insights, your experience to make someone else's life better. Maybe you mentor someone who is where you were 5 years ago. Maybe you volunteer for a cause you believe in. Maybe you simply show up with full presence for the people you love. The specifics do not matter. What matters is that you are giving, not just taking. Contributing, not just consuming. Because the highest levels of vibration are not accessed through self-focus. They are accessed through service. Through love. Through the recognition that we are all connected, and when you lift others, you lift yourself. We have come to the end. But this is not really the end. This is the beginning. Everything I have shared with you is an invitation. An invitation to step fully into who you are becoming. An invitation to stop apologizing for your growth. An invitation to stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. Your vibration is too high for most to handle. This is not a problem to solve. This is a truth to accept. And once you accept it, everything changes. You stop trying to force connection where there is no resonance. You stop explaining yourself to people who cannot understand you. You stop seeking validation from people who are not qualified to give it. You simply do the work. You show up every day. You honor your path. You speak your truth. You hold your boundaries. You serve your purpose. And you trust that the right people, the right opportunities, the right circumstances will find you. Because they always do. Not on your timeline. Not in the way you expect. But they always do. The universe rewards commitment. The universe rewards consistency. The universe rewards those who are willing to stand alone if necessary, who are willing to be misunderstood if necessary, who are willing to pay the price that most people are not willing to pay. You are paying that price right now. Every day you choose growth over comfort. Every day you choose truth over approval. Every day you choose your vision over others' opinions. This is not easy. This is not comfortable. This is not what most people choose. But you are not most people. You never have been. You never will be. And the sooner you embrace that fully, the sooner you stop fighting it, the sooner you accept that your path is different and that different is exactly what the world needs, the sooner your life will align with the destiny that has been waiting for you all along. Your vibration is a gift. It is a responsibility. It is a calling. Stop treating it like a burden. Stop treating it like a curse. Stop wishing you were normal. Normal is overrated. Normal is mediocre. Normal is settling for a life that is smaller than what you are capable of living. You are not here to be normal. You are here to be extraordinary. Not because you are better than anyone else. But because you are willing to do what most people are not willing to do. You are willing to face yourself. You are willing to tell yourself the truth. You are willing to change. You are willing to grow. You are willing to stand in your power, even when you stand alone. This is your destiny. Not a destiny that was handed to you. A destiny you are creating. A destiny you are earning. A destiny you are claiming with every choice you make, every thought you think, every word you speak, every action you take. The world needs what you have. The world needs your clarity. The world needs your courage. The world needs your commitment to truth and growth and service. But the world will not beg you for it. The world will not make it easy. The world will test you. The world will challenge you. The world will give you 1,000 reasons to quit, to settle, to play small. Do not listen. Listen instead to the voice inside you that knows you are meant for more. Listen to the vision that keeps calling you forward. Listen to the truth that refuses to be silenced. That voice is your highest self. That vision is your destiny. That truth is your compass. Follow it. Trust it. Honor it. And know this, you are not alone. There are others like you. Others who are also climbing. Others who are also refusing to settle. Others who are also committed to becoming everything they were created to be. You may not see them yet. They may not be in your current circle. But they are out there. And as you continue to rise, as you continue to honor your path, you will find them. Or they will find you. Until then, walk alone if you must. Walk with confidence. Walk with purpose. Walk with the knowledge that every step you take is preparing you for what comes next. Your vibration is too high for most to handle. So be it. Let them handle what they can handle. Let them stay where they are comfortable. Let them choose the path they need to choose. You have your own path. And it is time to walk it fully. Unapologetically. Courageously. With everything you have. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your life.